Okay, so like a year ago from today, like let's say like in July, I was trying to figure out how I was gonna get sober. I was pregnant. I didn't find out until July that I was like 6 months pregnant almost. I became real sick, and I knew like the day before I was gonna go into labor. I ended up delivering my baby. And at that point, I was like, wow, I know I'm sick, but there's more to it because the doctors weren't even ready. And so 4 days later, I go paralyzed in a shower, and I had to have emergency spine surgery. That's what turned my life around. Because if it wasn't for that, I'd still be on drugs. I wouldn't have what I have today. I wouldn't be so close to getting my kid. When your life was almost dying and you, like, got saved by doctors and everybody like that really, and your kid survived that and you delivered her, that gives me a reason to do better, and I am doing better. I almost had my kid back next month. I had a very corrupt caseworker. Her name was Ty. She ended up getting fired, but it took months to get this into light, what she was doing. But that was the work. If I manifest it, I can get it done. You know what I mean? If it's good, if I want it. And it worked. I put in the work to get it though. So I'm close to getting my kid back, and I'm really proud of myself because I learned to walk again. I went paralyzed for a month and a half, and I remember the first day getting out of the hospital, I said, if I gotta live like this my whole life, I'm gonna die. But I kept up and just kept trying to live the best way I can until I really learned how to walk. And I put myself way out past like the airport because I knew if I was in Kensington, I wasn't gonna stay clean. And I could hardly walk, so if I was out that far, I felt like I was good. And I kept to myself, and now I have a house. My kid's almost back. My other 2 kids are in my life. I'm actually trying to go get my GED so I can go put my knowledge out there, because I feel like I'm at a point in my life, like I was sober before that video. I had 5.5 years sober. My baby dad died around that time, my middle kid's dad, and I just knew that I couldn't let my other kids down also, so I decided to step up and actually do what I was supposed to do, and I am not regretting it. I'm actually getting all the goodness coming in, and not soon from now I'm going to have my baby. So
beautiful, Lorna. So proud of you, girl.
Thank you.
You doing the damn thing, and you sticking to your guns. So tell us about your apartment. How did you get it, and the environment?
Okay, so I was in Occupy PHA. I got a house in West Philadelphia with that. When Jen died, they took away the houses. You saw the ending of the last video is when we had to get evicted. So you kind of saw the ending of that. We weren't homeless just yet. With Occupy PHA, we were all in a protest. This time, rapid rehousing. But that's just a step. You know what I mean? To get me better. That's what I'm saying. As I heal, I'm going to be able to work more and do things. You know what I mean? And we'll figure it out from there. But right now, I'm just glad I have that. I'm in the area of Kensington. It's hard. It's really hard. I have to stay in my house a lot. But I know what I'm going to get if I keep staying in my house. I know that my kid's going to come. I know that I'm going to get good things. I'm going to keep this relationship with my daughter. So that shit that happens out there don't bother me, because I know what I'm doing, and I know it's the right thing. And I know that I'm going to be happy at the choices that come back, like from my choices. You know what I mean? Because everything has a reaction. I'm going to be happy when I get my baby. Like, I see her every week at the place. That sucks. And especially when you have a corrupt caseworker, that sucks. But my hard work paid off, and I'm happy. It just sucks the area. But you bring you wherever you go, so you got to worry about what you do, not what everybody else does. I told them, do not put me in Kensington. I said, I'm an ex-drug addict. Do not put me in there. And they were like, well, we have this place in West Philadelphia. It's a whole house with 4 dudes living in there. You have a room. And I'm like, well, I have a baby, and there's 4 dudes in there. That's not going to be good. I went and I checked out the house anyways. Well, the guy, it was raining, and I had to have help walking me to the house because I was still with my walker at that point. And he got turned off by the person helping me into that house, because that person, he didn't want another person into that house, and he thought that's what that was going to be. So I was like, thank God. This house came open, and it was in Kensington. It was the only place. And I was lucky because my kid's not completely back yet. So to be getting a house and not have my kid completely back yet, that I lucked out, despite the area it's in. So I took it. Man, I was supposed to get my kid back around that time, but the caseworker, like I said, things were going on with her. But now that I got this new caseworker, it's going good. I gotta pay utilities right now, and then within a certain amount of the months I'm in this, I gotta go get a job. But they know my situation, how I just got out of a walker, and how I just had spinal tumulity, or whatever it's called. So like, they gave me a little bit more extra time, you know what I mean? But with rapid housing, you have to take 5 classes and within the first month to get into this program and to keep them paying your month to month rent. And you have to check in with them every month after you move in. But I applied for my SSI again. They're doing another evaluation through the doctor there. It's a lot of work. If you want good things, it's a lot of work, but it's worth it when it's done. So I'm going to have to go get a physical basically from a doctor here soon. I get food stamps, but my family's always been there. That's how I get my bills paid. That's how I get what I need, is my family. I didn't get as much help when I was out on the street doing what I wanted to do, not having anything to do with my kids. I didn't get as much help, but my family has always been a big support. I'm not going to say I didn't grow up rough, because my mom, I don't have anything to do with her, you know what I mean? But my dad's side always been there for me.
So how are you maintaining your recovery now? What are you taking?
I go to MAT every week. Because my doctor's office, they knew what's going on with the caseworker. They used to drop in at the meetings on the drop of a dime and stick up for me because they knew what she was doing. So I go there every week to Stephen Klein because it's a great place. When I was pregnant, I told you in July, I just found out this nurse, she wouldn't take no as an answer. I told her, I'm not going with you. She said, yeah, you are. I'm going to even come with a whole van so we could put your wagon in the van. She came, picked me up, took me to the doctor. When I was in the hospital, Stephen Klein was calling me up, making sure I was okay. If anything went wrong, they would make sure I was okay and fix the issue in the hospital. It's Stephen Klein. It's me too. And I stay in recovery because I want my kid. I know what I gotta do to keep my kid, and that's not none of that dumb shit out there. You know what I mean? So I'm just growing. You know what I mean? I'm growing spiritually, and I'm just growing like altogether. Like I want my baby.
So you're on methadone?
I'm on Suboxone.
Suboxone, okay.
Yeah. But the thing with that, people say Suboxone don't make you clean. And whatever it takes to get you off those out there is what you need. Not saying forever. Not saying do this forever. No, there's a time you quit. But if you need that to get off that shit, then you need that. You know what I mean? And as long as you're not abusing that, then there's not an issue with Suboxone. A lot of people are critics on that.
Yeah. So how do you look at life now from a clean perspective?
I look at it like I'm actually going somewhere. Like I'm not just another person out there wasting my potential. Because I knew I was. I had a lot of knowledge. I know a lot of things. I have a kind heart and I give. But at that point, I felt like they were just using me because I was out there with them too. You get what I'm saying? But now that I look at it excitingly, like I get to do more things and I have the opportunity to do more things now. You know what I mean? People look at me like more respect, and the addicts that I do know out there, I feel like they kind of look up to me as well. Because I always been nice to them. You know what I mean? So like I don't mind helping them if they need it. You know what I mean? Because I always been like that.
So what do you do now to occupy your time?
I spend a lot of time by myself. When Mark is home, I spend a lot of time with Mark, but I'm spending a lot of time with myself, self-reflecting, like what I want to do. I'm having a 6-month plan, like from October to now, still it's going on, get my baby back. The first one's get my baby back. After I get my baby back, be the best mom I can to her, but work on getting that job or that GED that I can actually go somewhere, because I am really smart. Like, I have little goals set for after I complete this baby goal, I guess I would say. Yeah.
That's awesome. What are some of your dreams?
I want to be a lawyer. I always said that because I'm a street lawyer. Like everybody asks me street legal questions and I give it to them like how it is. And right now I'm fighting for Marcus because I got the Movement Alliance going to bail him out of jail. actually. They're going to bail him out. Because they know I have trouble walking and my kid's coming back. His sister's paralyzed and his mom's kidneys are failing. So they're working with us to bail him out. I'm working with the public defenders in Delaware to lift his detainer so that they can bail him out. So that's what I'm saying. I want to work in law eventually when I get my GED. If not, I want to work in recovery. Because I do have a past. Well, we stay sober pretty good together. I think something else is his problem. It's not the drugs. He has anger issues.
Hope he work on it while he's locked up.
Yeah, me too, because that's been the issue. You know what I mean? It is his anger, and that's always what ends him back in there. But I make him grow. But the thing of it is when things get bad for him, he goes out there. You know what I mean? And that's not okay. Because when things are bad for me, I don't go out there. You know what I mean? Like, I go through the bad by myself because I have no family up here. I go through it by myself because I know my friends out there are going to help me. You know what I mean? And I know that what's going to come out of it. And that's just one thing I wish I could change about him, is how he cares for me, because I would do anything, you know?
For those people who are still in active addiction, what advice do you have for them?
They're not going to be ready till they're ready, you know? But when you are ready, make sure you have the proper place and proper mindset to do it. You're not going to be ready till you're ready, you know? I know it, and I went through it myself. But if you want to stay sober, you got to leave that old life behind. You know what I mean? You got to leave it behind. You got to leave the people. You can still say hi to them, but you can't sit there and chill. You can't sit there and surround yourself with what broke you. You can't. You gotta either get rid of it all or it won't change.
That's what's up. And what advice would you give to those who are in the same boat as you, off drugs, but you know, the cravings?
Stay to yourself. I stay to myself. Find other ways than people to make yourself happy. I've been picking up my spiritual stuff real much. I be doing like cookings and crystals and listening to my healing frequencies. I'm working on my self-reflection. Like I said earlier, like I'm reflecting on myself and how to better myself. But it doesn't mean I don't pray for the people that are lost, because I do. I do. I just wish I could show them what I learned. You know what I mean? But like I said, they ain't going to be ready till they're ready. I can tell them till they're blue in the face, or till I'm blue in the face, but they ain't ready till they're ready. And it doesn't mean I look down on you, because I don't. We just learn differently in different ways, you know? Like, you have to go through what you go through, and then you'll learn when you're ready.
That's true. That's facts. What would you like the world to know about you, Lona?
I'm very kind. I think people can see that just from my character. I'm very kind. Your past don't define you. What you do when no one's looking defines you. Like I said, you take you wherever you go. So what you do when no one's looking. I mean, you try to be a good person. This world has too much going on with it right now. I say we're living in Revelations. If you read Revelations, you see it. Kids are killing each other. Like, things are happening. And the only thing that's going to really solve it is love. Because you may be having a shitty day. If I come up and I start talking to you, I can change your whole day. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
don't ever be mean. Just because some shitty shit happened to me, I'm not going to turn better. I'm not, and I never did.
What are your long-term goals now?
Like I said, get my GED. Keep my baby when I get her. Stay off the drugs. Eventually go back home to my other kids.
How many children do you have?
I have 3. But I have the little one in Philly and then the other 2 back home. I want to go back home to my grandparents, but I'm stuck in Philly for 3 years. So I was here like 4 years before that, so it shouldn't be a problem. I'm gonna have my baby here. It's just hard living with like no family. Like, I have friends now that are sober as well, and I had them when I had the tent protest when I first came to Philly, because I was sober back then too. But it's not like your family. Like, they always say you go running back to your old hometown, which is true. It always drew me back. Because my family is there. It's been hard surviving up here with nobody. But my family, thank God, they love me from a distance.
Did you get a chance to watch your video?
I watched this Luna Warrior one, yeah.
Okay.
I watched it today.
Oh.
Okay, so that's why I did it, because I knew I was going to do it today.
Right.
I was a mess. My hands were going all over. I use my hands just to speak as it is, but I could not stay still. I am ADHD, I get it, but you could definitely tell I was on drugs. And it's a big difference. It's a big difference, and I am glad I can look back at that and see how far I came, because I had nothing like this last year.
I didn't even recognize her when I saw her. I walked right past her. So what message do you have for all the people who left positive comments under your video and who are rooting for you?
That made me smile, and it actually made me see that because at that time of last year, I was very broken. Me and Mark were going through some things. I was really broken. And when I saw that, it made me happy. You know, it actually made me think that I could again, because they were even talking that I could get those 5.5 years back. But it doesn't mean I believed it at first that in myself that I could, because I was in that phase. If I didn't go through what I went through with the baby, I'm going to be honest, I was going to give her up for adoption. If I didn't have to deliver her myself, if I didn't have to get as sick as I did, I probably wouldn't be the person I am today. I don't regret it. I don't regret it. And reading those comments, like, that meant a lot back then, because I didn't even have that faith in myself.
What do you mean you had to deliver your baby?
I got so sick. It's right before I went paralyzed. I squatted on the floor in the delivery room, and she came out of my hands.
Wow. What's her name?
Alana.
Alana, that's a beautiful name.
Yeah, Alana Kiowa. Her dad named her middle name.
Oh. Well, Lona, thank you so much for this positive update, and you are an inspiration to so many other people who are watching this video. So I want you to know that, you know, we are rooting for you, and we'll keep on pushing you, but you just got to keep going forward. No looking back, Lona. No looking back.
Nah, I don't even wanna.
So you giving us your word you're not gonna go back to that?
I've been clean since August 19th. August 19th is my clean day, and I've been clean. I'm not going back. I have nice stuff. I have stuff that I can say is mine now. I can pay the bills. I can make a camera setup. Like, I have a camera set up right there. I'm gonna have to hook it all up, but I have one downstairs. You know what I mean? I'm getting nice shit. And material stuff ain't everything, but it's the lessons you learn out of it. I don't want to, because this work I put in for my baby has been a lot. But you know what I mean? Yeah. I see if I put in the work, I can do it. Because I do get paid for my tarot. And my little bit of time, like around Kensington, I get noticed for it. I was just in the center of the city, like, a month ago, and this guy's like, yo, you're the girl that reads cards, right? And I was like, yeah. I'm also known as, like, the speaker girl and the dancing girl, but hey, people remember me.